Hi, I'm W Lyon Martin. I am the author and illustrator of An Ordinary Girl, a Magical Child, a fully illustrated pagan children's book.
And can you tell us a little bit about the book?
Well, when my daughter was born, I started a search for books that were for pagan kids, and I couldn't find any. And I looked all over the place. I found several parenting books, and I bought every single one. One of them had stories in it, and she'd love me to sit down and read the stories to her, but she wanted to have a book that was just for her. So I kept looking, and I couldn't find anything, so I decided to sit down and write one. And since I'm an artist, I also painted it. And to make a long story short, it came out last August, and I've been taking it all over the Midwest this summer to help let people know about it.
And if people want to order a copy, where do they order from?
I have a website. It's magicalchild.handcraftedpagan.com, and that's magical with the traditional spelling, not the pagan spelling. No K. And I also have a website that you can, instead of going to the book website, you can go to my craft website. I sell craft items, supplies, and and that's called magicware.com, and that is with a CK, and the ware is W-A-R-E.
Would you like to talk about any special challenges you face as a pagan parent?
Well, the biggest challenge is I was actually outed by my daughter when she was 3 years old. I came to the pagan path in about 1985, give or take. I'm not exactly sure. But because of the time and the area where I started, I keep it to myself. Mm-hmm. I'm still not comfortable telling people. It's just the way that I am. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with people telling or anything like that. I'm just not comfortable with it. But my daughter was born, and I'd already been on my path for, probably a dozen years. It never occurred to me not to bring her up as pagan. Mm. So she was festival got, and she was Wiccan, and brought to every single circle I ever went to, and it was just a normal way of life for her. And she started school between the ages of 3 and 4. She went into a Ready to Learn program, and that's when she discovered that she was one of the few kids just like her. And she told all of her schoolmates and all of her teachers and all of her care workers exactly who and what we were. Luckily, we lived in an area that was very open, and they were just curious, and they wanted to know more about us. And I was happy to oblige, and even went so far as to transcribe some music and give it to her music teacher, which he then shared with the class, which was wonderful. That was before we moved to Missouri. We moved out to Missouri, and I stick to my same routine where I just don't tell and keep to myself, and she stuck to her same routine where she told everybody, and she was not expecting the reaction she received. And it was a tough year for her, the first year we were here. And I think that probably that was the biggest challenge as a pagan parent. I mean, the biggest challenge as a parent, they're so numerous, who could count? Yeah. So as a pagan child, her difficulty is that she doesn't have any peers where we live. Mm-hmm. And she finds that painful. So that's another reason why I wrote the book. So it explains who and what a pagan is, and how we celebrate and what we believe. But it's from my perspective, from my family's perspective. And you put a dozen pagans in a room and you get 14 different paths. So your mileage may vary, but I try to be as inclusive as possible. And with children's books, you have a limited number of pages and a limited number of words you can use. So things are very generic, and there's not a lot of detail.
What do you think would be the biggest thing that would be of help to pagan parents in general?
Community. It's changing. The festivals I've been to this summer are a lot different than the festivals that I went to, as little as 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Children are becoming an accepted part of the community. I remember going to open circle, not a closed circle, but an open circle with my daughter, and being made to feel unwelcome when she was younger. And I feel that a spiritual path should not be closed off to our children. No. And I think, I know it's difficult for people who don't have children, who aren't parents, to understand the needs of those with children, but I think we need to, as a community, communicate to each other. And the parents with children need to be aware of the needs of those without children too. So it's a two-way street.